I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Let's just kick this show off.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aloha Press Show. I'm JC, joined today with my co-host Jeff. Jeff, holy shit, people might have a heart attack because I got messages, bro. I got people who are like, is Jeff okay? Like, what happened to him? Did he go to Mexico again and get fucking, something? I mean, what, the Mexican teal worm or what?
Hey, I'm back. I'm happy to be back. 4 months off is quite a break from golf. I needed it. It was necessary during the time in your life when you bring a little one into the world and have no clue what you're doing. So sometimes priorities, are different and you learn to adapt. But here I am back, after the players getting ready for, what's going to be the first major of the year in a few weeks.
Bro, first and foremost, we're glad to have you back. The listeners are overjoyed and excited to see you back on camera. You look healthy, look good. I'm glad the family stuff was all squared away. It's dude, Players Championship. Why not kick off a season? Because the 4 months that you missed, you didn't miss much.
I didn't miss shit.
There were you missed some of the drama. Okay, you got Phil Mickelson and all that nonsense, which I'm sure I want your opinion on. But when it comes down to it, you golf tournament wise, just no one won. No one that we really gave a shit about. I mean, it seemed like Victor Hovland has won 6 times and fucking Scotty Scheffler. But other than that, who gives a shit? It's just been kind of boring golf.
It has, and I feel bad for you for having to try to talk your way through that shit by yourself. Besides the Pro-Am out of Pebble Beach, I haven't watched any golf until this week. And yeah, it was a bunch of no-namers and Tom Hoagie and first-time guys, Scotty Scheffler winning, Brooks Koepka playing absolute ass right now. A lot of the guys, all the big names, didn't make the cut or had no chance in the tournament this week. So it's going to be good to kind of roll into major championship golf and hopefully see these guys perform at a high level and not just one time in the week, throughout the whole weekend.
Because I don't know if the Players is cursed. Well, I know it's cursed. The reason why the Players Championship is cursed is a simple fact. These motherfuckers try and make it a major championship, and it's a big event. I'm with everyone. I think it's a great event. It's a good. It's a great championship for the PGA Tour, but they got to stop treating it like a fucking major championship. Because if it was Augusta National, if it was a U.S. Open, I feel like there'd be a stronger field at the top of the leaderboard. Other than because we didn't really have that this weekend or on a Monday finish.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it was a Monday finish, but it might as well have been a fucking Wednesday finish with how long it seemed like this golf tournament took. I mean, when you got guys that tee off on Thursday morning, finish their round, and don't get to tee it up again until Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning. I think some of them didn't get to play again until Sunday morning.
Yeah,
you go 2 days in between. It's hard to watch. It's hard to follow along because there's so many different guys out there in different rounds. They got to get the course cleared. It's just you never know. And one thing I'll say is the NBC broadcast for a new dad and a guy that's got to watch golf with most of the time with the volume down or it on mute, you'd like to see what fucking shot they're hitting, right? At least CBS shows you if it's fucking for birdie, if it's their second shot, if it's for bogey. They just put a little yellow line on their score to let you know who's hitting. I know who's fucking hitting. I can tell that that's Brooks Koepka, but I don't know what shot he's hitting. That frustrated the shit out of me this week.
Dude, I'm staring at the telecast and yes, we all recognize this Brooks Koepka, even though he dyed his hair fucking blonde. There's no graphic that's this is for par, this is a sensei. They have no problem pumping out these useless statistics about putting averages, and since 1992 and it's rained on Thursday, he's done, and he shot 64, he's gone out to win, and you're like, no one gives a shit. And it just, I don't know, dude, it just, NBC is so bad. At one point in time, I literally had to turn it on mute today. It was the key word. And when we started podcasting and YouTubing, we recognize that we say one word kind of often. For me, it was as always or something. I don't even remember what it says. But Someone pointed it out to me and was like, you say this shit every single time, like every fourth word. The NBC crew, all they say is pressure. That's all I hear. Oh, a lot of pressure walking from 16 to 17. And you're like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, the guy just made an incredible up and down for par. He's feeling amazing. He's not feeling any pressure. He's got a 4-shot lead. I don't know. I get fired up.
Well, to go back on what you said there, I feel like maybe about 2-3 years ago when we started doing these things, one of those persons that messaged you about saying the same word over and over was probably your grandma, and it was probably the F word, because back in the day, that flowed freely from both of our mouths.
Yes.
To the point where I think it limited what we were able to show on certain channels.
It was to a point where like our YouTube was like, all right, guys, like you have to show like ID to see this show. Like you got to be, there was a fucking bouncer at your login for YouTube to fucking actually watch us, because holy shit, yeah, we went over the top. It especially with some of those hotter knots.
It's true. You know what's kind of weird right now? I look at you and I think you're drinking like a rock star or some shit right now.
Oh yeah.
Is that what you got?
Yeah, I got a rock star.
And I'm over here drinking Safeway brand soda water. Times have changed.
It absolutely has, dude. It's sad. We're all getting older. That's what I'm getting after. But hey, Players Championship. I mean, big event. Cameron Smith walks away with the fucking win. I mean, he did it in a way that was I want to say pretty incredible, but not really incredible. I mean, it was not a golf course that was laid out for the best players in the world to compete due to just the conditions and the shittiness of the way everything went. I think Cameron Smith just putted his ass off. His driver play was okay. Jeff, I mean, this is a huge event. Is he now a guy we're going to talk about as a contender in major championships?
Well, fuck yeah, he's a contender. And I'll give it to Paul Azinger. Paul Azinger called this. He said, he's like, I don't want to make any predictions, but he said with Cam Smith's putting, this guy's probably going to win this golf tournament. And he goes out and makes 10 fucking birdies today, and gets it done. He putted his ass off, made some good par saves coming in. But I'll tell you what, they do want to try to make this the 5th major, but this tournament really doesn't matter that much if you're a champion of this and you never win an actual major championship. Ricky Fowler wasn't even in the fucking field this week. That guy, he's only known for this win, right? He still had a commercial on every 6 minutes, but he wasn't even in the field, right? And there's other guys that have won this tournament that haven't won major championships that nobody cares about or remember. Honestly, for this week, I know there was a $20 million purse, and the winner got 3 point something. Second and third got 2 million, 1 million. I mean, stupid money. But I would have gave the check to whoever won on Saturday, right? In the wind. I would have made them up, because I'll tell you right now, they were all over Justin Thomas. I mean, they couldn't stop fucking talking about that guy. But here's the thing. Bubba Watson shot one better than him and made no bogeys that day as well. So in that win to shoot 60, 69 like JT did, 68, those are some stupid good rounds compared to it was a birdie fest once the wind laid down. It was so soft.
It became a dartboard. I mean, if there's no wind out there and as soft as it is, I mean, Cam Smith today literally hit one of the biggest duck hooks I've ever seen. Like, reminded me of me. People don't, like, professionals aren't supposed to hit it like that. And it was just Healy, close face, just fucking ripped into the woods. Saturday, you're right. I mean, hole 17, I mean, with that wind, I mean, I don't want to call it gimmicky, but it was fucking a bit ridiculous. Like, that was one of the hardest shots I've seen these guys hit this year. And I've watched a lot of golf. Those conditions on that tiny green, there was no room for error. It had to be, I mean, for me, it was pure carnage, and I loved every moment of it.
So did I. And I've never played on a true island green like that, so I don't know what it would be like. I know that it's probably very nerve-wracking even when there's no wind up there, even though it's 135, 145 yards most of the time for these guys, which is a pitching wedge. But, man, here's the thing. Some of them hit good shots and the wind affected it and went in the water. But a lot of them hit absolutely terrible shots. I mean, they didn't have a chance to hit land. I mean, if there was OB stakes, they would have been outside of that. They were straight shanks.
Dude, it was just they were trying to create shots, and the shots were not practiced well, because it seemed like they were just trying to hood like fucking 7-irons in there, and I think it was playing like 145, but in reality, like some of those gusts were playing like 185, and some of them just did not look real confident, which I enjoyed. I thought it was just pure entertainment. I mean, Scotty Scheffler at one point in time, he just totally blitzes it right short, and then goes to the drop area and just sucks a wedge about, I don't know, 25 yards off from the middle of the green, off the fucking into the water. It was just, I loved it.
Yeah, I feel like at some point though, some of those guys caddy should have known. You knew the guys that had a clue that the wind changed from above the tents to a whole different type of wind and a whole different, volume of wind. So you got to keep it low. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't care if you fucking think you got to hit a 7-iron. You got to hit a 5-iron, and you got to keep it under the freaking flags.
Dude, and some of those shots though is like they're hitting from the drop zone. Like the first thing I would do, and this is just shitty amateur golf, but like you got to fill those grooves with some fucking mud, okay? Like I don't want clean grooves on a fucking green that's gonna zip the ball back into the water. I mean,
dude,
it's
like back in the day when you first learned how to actually hit a golf ball and spin it with your wedge, and then you get to those shorter par threes, and you think you hit it great, right? Because you can hit your 56-degree, 115 yards, you hit it right to the flag, and it zips back off the green. So when you're playing with your buddies, that's when you mix in a top flight, for that tee shot, because it's not going to spin back. They needed to do something like that.
Yes, they needed the noodle or the fucking laddie golf ball to fucking get it there. I mean, Cam Smith, good for him. The dude walked away with a shitload of money. He got emotional about it, which was cool. I sent you a picture earlier today and was just not real excited about what the final group looked like. It was not one. I wasn't going to be able to pronounce any of these fucking guys' names. And I'm going to try the guy who got solo second. He played well. Something Lahiri, maybe Lahiri. I don't know. Indian dude fucking just crushed it. It was cool to see. I'm not gonna lie. Like I purposely shaved my mustache today to look kind of like a dirtbag like Cam Smith. But I was secretly rooting for Paul Casey to win. That's I just wanted him to win.
So was I. He didn't have a chance with what Cam Smith was doing, but I somehow, some way I got to watch a little bit of this golf today, especially the last like 6 holes somehow. But Cam Smith's kind of run away with it there, getting up 2-3 towards the end. And then he hits that ball in the water, punching out on his second shot there, and brings the field back into it. He got up and down from the fairway for bogey, which was huge. But it was kind of disappointing. Fucking your boy, Anirban Lahiri, or whatever his name is, pipes one right down the middle. Birdie 17, pipes one right down the middle, has like 9-iron in. And you're thinking, shit, we're going to have some fireworks. All you got to do is hit the right side of the green, and it funnels right to that hole.
Yeah.
And he comes up short and just takes, not even a chance.
No, and it was just, and you could just tell he just bitched out. I mean, you can't go left, but fuck, you got to hit the green. And I mean, he's sitting there and he's got a chip. And all I kept thinking about is, this guy's going to chunk one. He's either going to chunk it or blade it into the water. And he didn't, but it looked, that iron shot, especially when he piped the drive. I mean, Cameron Smith was still in the fairway hitting his chip shot. And I just thought, I'm like, this dude is going to take a little more club and fucking put it in the middle of the green and just fucking give him a run. Give him a chance. Get some fireworks out of this hole 18. And it just didn't happen. It just, it was a sad sight. What did you see Paul Casey's drive on hole 16? The same hole that Cameron Smith duck hooked it when Paul Casey's ball came to rest into a fucking pitch mark. Did you see that?
I did. I didn't, but I saw it, and I saw him waiting for a ruling, and then something came up. I missed what they ended up, because it wasn't his own pitch mark, right? No, so he probably didn't get relief.
Yeah. So what happened was he hit his drive, and sure enough, like it was the only fairway that fucking like just sent his ball forward, and it hit rolled out, bounced a couple times to about 30 yards out from where he landed, and it just fucking landed in like one of those divots that you would never think to repair, fix, or whatever, because the ball landed, created a crater, and fucking sent it out. He landed in one of those little craters, and they said, "Yo, you got to play it as lies. It's a fucking it's like a divot."
So were they not playing lift, clean, and place today?
No.
They must not have been, because they were earlier
not
in the week.
Yeah, they were earlier in the week, but no, and he got fucking just, I mean, a ball like a third of the way, like covered in fucking mud and turf, like you don't know what's going on. And then he got another fucking bad ruling on the same green. Like he sucked it off the green, and then like he couldn't putt it because he was he didn't get a free relief from the drain because it was like an inch away from being 2 club lengths. It was just, he seemed like he got some bad luck there on the end there.
Yeah, I missed that. I like Paul Casey. He's a good guy, dude. He's just a good golfer. He's, what he made probably close to $1 million today. Yeah. I think at some point he's going to break through and win a major championship. I really do.
I would think so. I mean, just incredible. I mean, it's just the Players Championship, and I hate to say it, when it was on and it was concluding, there's something that's not there. I was excited to do the podcast, but it just isn't, like, it just wasn't that great of golf. It's just, I don't know. It's just rather disappointing. Maybe it was because of the weather, but I was just not excited.
That didn't help. The weather, the way we had to watch it, the way they had to break it up and extend it, it definitely didn't help. But there was something missing. There was actually 2 things missing. And if these 2 things would have been in play this week, it could have freaking finished on Wednesday, like we talked about. It could have gone 7-8 days. I wouldn't have cared. And that's Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. If you have those 2 guys in the fucking golf tournament, it doesn't matter about the weather, the wind, the delays. Without them, it just shows you, like golf right now, even without them, still today, can just get super boring and mundane and drawn out. And those other big name guys aren't good enough to carry the load week in and week out. It's
just, there isn't a guy that I look at and go, oh, I want to go watch him. It's just not on the tour right now. And like, even some of the guys that we do want to watch, like Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson played well today. He shot 63, but there isn't that, like you said. I mean, there's no Tiger Woods, there's no Phil Mickelson, there's no guy that grabs you and goes, fuck, this guy's gonna win this week, because he won the last 3 or 4 times he played.
No, and there's nobody that has that like runaway power right now. Rory goes out and plays well on day 1 and then just falls apart. Makes the cut but falls apart, right? It's like, I want to see these guys dominate. Give me a guy that I want to be there in attendance and watch every shot he hits. And right now, there's nobody out there doing that.
It's just frustrating, because I think everyone got pissed at Phil Mickelson, right? They fucking dropped his sponsors, canceled him. He's fucking on a suspension, I'm assuming, with the PGA Tour. And I look at it and I'm like, I've been to events, and the guys who have large crowds, the guys who are getting yelled at and screamed at, generally are Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods. Like, other than that, there's just no other big names. And I just think that, like, if the PGA Tour is going to do anything quickly to, like, really draw up some fucking attention, they reach out to Phil Mickelson and go, listen, like, fucking no big deal. Fucking please come back. Because that guy, he's just so good for the game of golf. And I wanted to flirt this by you. Okay, my thoughts about Phil Mickelson with you. And I need your reaction. Now, I'm sure you've heard of like NFTs, right? Probably in the mix, right? My idea is because everyone dropped Phil Mickelson, which kind of pisses me off. But what do you think about raising a fund of like-minded golfers who are fans of Phil Mickelson and saying, fuck the sponsors, we're sponsoring. The fans are going to sponsor. We're going to organize fucking $30 million. We're gonna write a check to Phil Mickelson and be like, the fans sponsor you. We're backing you, even though these other dipshits won't.
Well, that's a great idea, but I feel like we missed an opportunity again, like we did a little while back with Justin Thomas, right?
I
When
know,
everybody
I know.
he he
Fuck.
he had his problems,
Ah,
and all his sponsors dropped him, and now he's picked up all kinds of new
ah.
sponsors, and he's on top of the world again. This was like our chance to just strike when Phil's down. Like, Phil, we love you, we believe in you. You know, ever since you won the PGA
I
at
mean,
50 years old, like we're back. Like we should have just sent free gear his way and said, yeah, but it's all right.
it
Someday
just
Phil will come back and he will be bigger, better than ever, more popular because of this.
it's you know what's crazy? Like Phil Mickelson is one of those guys who he's entertaining. Like I'm watching today's telecast and I love Paul Casey. I love Cameron Smith, but there's no fucking energy. Like at one point in time, Keegan Bradley is near the top of the leaderboard. I'm like, fuck, if he makes a 20-footer, at least we're gonna get a fist bump. You know, at least some excitement. I mean, Harold Varner, Victor Hovland, Dustin Johnson, Straka. I mean, the guy from Lithuania or wherever the hell it is. Daniel Berg. There's no one on this leaderboard. Kevin Kisner. There's no one. I mean, unless we give Kevin Kisner a fucking hot shot of meth and fucking 9 Coors Lights, you're just not going to get any fucking excitement out of these guys. It's pissing me off. You just won $3.3 million and all I get is a couple tears about how you haven't seen your mom in fucking 2 years? Like, bro, you could have flown her. You could have put her on a boat and shipped her ass over here. Like, what are we doing? It just, I need the excitement. I need everyone fired up again.
I hear you. Hey, Phil brings that even when he's shooting 78.
Yes.
He just does. He's just all over the course. He's flopping shots. He's hitting things he shouldn't. He's, running putts 18 feet past and then making the comebacker. He at least brings excitement to the game.
It just, Players Championship just is not, I mean, they just, and I don't know if there's a guy out there that can take the fucking lead. Like, what, if there's a player that you saw on this fucking leaderboard or this list or guys who are going to go play, is there a guy that can fucking take that lead of a Tiger Woods or a Phil Mickelson? Or is it something where it's just, we got it in our lifetime. We got 2 of them in our lifetime. Like, there probably isn't going to be one for another 15 years. And we just lucked out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the closest thing to it was Brooks Koepka during his little run, that brought that. But right now, it's just, they don't play as much as they used to. They pick and choose, a lot of other guys, no-namers win, first-time winners. We just don't have the domination that it takes to rise to the top for a long period of time. World number one changes hands so often now. John Rahm was on top of the world. Looked like he was unbeatable. Now the guy can't make a fucking 3-footer. It's just, that's the way golf is right now. It's a different time. It's a different era. There are a bunch of great players instead of back in the day, even 10, 15 years ago when there was like a handful.
I'm just coming across an article that was just released a couple hours ago. Let's see here. The freaking Saudis have spoken. It's apparently the latest conjecture as the Crown Prince's coat holders planning to stage a tournament with an enormous purse that could dwarf the $20 million offered at the PGA Tour's flagship stop, Soggy, Florida. The goal would be to engineer litigation by inviting tour members to compete while helping Commissioner Jay Monahan deny its permission required to do so, thereby presenting an opportunity to challenge his control over the members' play and at least jeopardize the tour's tax-exempt status of a 501c organization. They are proposing that the purse, let's see here. I thought it was $80 million. I don't know where I read that, but could this Saudi league come back to life if they said, "Hey guys, you're going to play for $80 million or $100 million in one tournament"?
Here's the thing. At one point in my life, I believed this actually was going to happen, and I was kind of for it for a little while. Thought it'd bring some excitement. But I get why there's hesitation and it's stalling out right now. The last article I saw about Saudi Arabia was over the weekend. They just did a nice mass killing of like 80 to 90 people.
I don't mean to laugh at the murder of 80 people.
But I mean, that's what's popping up. So that made me think, honestly, when I saw this, I'm like, oh, they just brought back the death penalty. It had a little lull during COVID. They just did this mass death penalty for these people. Bad people, whatever. There are different rules over there. But that made me think: what would the contracts look like that these PGA Tour players were signing? Like, yeah, 4 years for $400 million to come over and play, Bryson. But if you break one of these rules, you're never allowed to go back to the U.S. We're going to be put to death. I would never sign a contract over there.
I could see Bryson in fucking Saudi prison with a fucking hand missing because he fucking slaughtered a cow to fucking have some more protein or something. I don't know if they got caught just consuming alcohol or I don't know. I know it's dead. I just thought it was, I don't know. I just thought it was hilarious. I saw that article pop up. What was your thoughts on Tiger Woods being sent into the Hall of Fame? It seemed like that was the biggest highlight before the tournament kicked off last week.
That was actually, I thought it was pretty cool. I got a chance to actually watch his speech, which, God, they had so many lights on him. It looked like it was probably about 400 degrees up there for him with the way he was sweating. But there, from the 20, 25 minutes that he stood there and talked, there was one thing that stood out to me, dude, and kind of resonates with where we are in the world today and how different he was back then. He came up in a time when being a black golfer was a heck of a lot harder than it is now.
Yeah.
But the mentality of people nowadays is poor me, woe is me. I want to create controversy about, the struggles I have in life. Tiger didn't have that. You know what he said? When they wouldn't let him into the fucking country clubs with all the white kids and all these other things at these junior events, he put his cleats on in the fucking parking lot and said, where's the first tee and what's the course record? That type of mentality is no longer around today. Everybody wants something for free. They always want to look like the victim and they want to be poor me. Look what that motherfucker did and became the best golfer in the world.
And he became a billionaire. Like that speaks so there is like the one thing I love about golf, and like it is because they're independent contractors. Like that's one of the things I love. Like they have the ability to go out there and fucking make and all you gotta do is tell your story and go out there, shut your fucking mouth and win. And win in a way that you just fucking murder people. And I just yeah, you're right. I mean, the dude came up in an era that is not fucking, it's not that old. It's not like he played golf in the fucking 60s. Okay. He played in like the fucking 90s where they wouldn't let him in the fucking locker room. And it just shows me that like, I look at the field nowadays and I look at like what these guys had to do to get on tour. And it just seems like they are fucking handed a lot. And it's never their fault. It's like the guys bitching and complaining about hole 17. Oh, it's unfair. It wasn't, Brando Chambly's fucking jaw jacking about how fucking, it's not, it's not real golf. It's all this bullshit. And it just seems like we're fucking missing that in the world and fucking in our sport that we love. I mean, we just need more killers. That's what we need. We need guys that, you're going to play golf part-time, okay? The other part-time, you're going to be training with Navy SEALs, okay? Like, that's what we're going to be doing, all right? You're not going to be bitches anymore.
Dude, he got me fired up, right? Nothing's given to you, everything's earned. And if you don't earn it, you don't fucking deserve it, right? Those are the words that are coming out of this guy's mouth. But yet you see all these golfers today, none of them live that. None of them live that, dude. That's a different mentality, a different breed. That's the reason he's the greatest. That's the reason why in 2019 he can come back after all the shit he's been through personally, physically, and beat all these motherfuckers out there at Augusta. That's the reason why he's a different breed. I wouldn't be surprised if he can somehow find a way to walk 72 holes again, that he doesn't win again. I wouldn't be surprised.
Dude, and I'm talking about like I think he wins another major championship. Like the guy's just built different. Like he built in a time where there was no fucking excuses. You just go out there and fucking kill him. Like his mom taught him that. Like his dad taught him that. Like his dad, I read the book of Tiger Woods. Oh God, kids these days would shit their pants. Okay, like they would just shit their pants. They would just squirt out a little turd on the green, and they'd have the greenkeeper to they'd have their mom come over there and put kitty litter on it. It just fucking. You're right, dude. We're just lacking the killers. It just I don't know. And I even see it. The scary part is I see it in youth golf too. Like I show up to our club and these golfers, like, you fucking flex at them and they're like, like, fucking get out of the way. Like, I don't know. It just, as I'm raising a kid on the driving range who's just, occasionally shanks one dead left and fucking hits 3 people, it just, you just got to raise it a little different.
Hey, speaking of shanking one and almost hitting people,
yeah.
Can Zach Johnson, can we just count it as a stroke from now on next time he does that? This one was a legitimate, like, laser, straight right. Why do you have to practice swing that close to your golf ball?
He does it, every other tournament? Like, and I know these guys play a lot of golf, but he's the only one. He's the only one that does this all the time. It's just... The only reason we know that that's a rule, that it doesn't count as a stroke if you didn't intend to hit it, is because of him. If that happened at your local muni in a fucking Skins game, you're playing that from wherever it fucking lies. That's your bad. Yes. Oh, I just don't get it. Fucking Zach Johnson. I mean, it just.
I'm gonna line up for my putt, and I'm gonna hit a putt and say it was an accident. And if it fucking doesn't go in, I'm gonna get a read.
It just, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this guy. He's so bad. He's so bad, and he's your Ryder Cup captain. It's just, which is incredible. Oh fuck. What else? What else we got? What else we got in the world of golf that we've missed from you, buddy? What's anything else? Anything else we're missing? One thing I got to bring up. One of our good fans reached out to me. Said, "Hey, thanks for the hat," and I go, you didn't buy one from me, like the website. Like, I didn't send you shit, did you? Like, I thought maybe we got hacked on the old website. Jeff, I appreciate you sending gifts to people.
Me either. He sent me a text saying thank you too, and I said it was probably JC. So I don't know how he got a hat.
Travis, if you're listening to this, dude, I don't know. Like, I don't know. We'll ship you some stuff. I need your address. I don't know. I just thought that was funny.
I'm not joking either. I didn't send it, so I don't know where it came from.
Hey, thanks for the Aloha Press hat. I'm like, oh, you're welcome. I don't know. Anyways, it's what else is going on in the world? I mean, all kinds of nonsense. I mean, all kinds of craziness. Jeff, we're blessed here in America, and it just seems like things are different. It seems like COVID has disappeared, which is good. Seems like the news has captured a new audience. How does golf look like this summer? Is it going to be? Are we going to have a compelling, fucking energized, incredible run of majors? I mean, we're going to have like 4 months of them. I mean, the Masters is coming up in a couple weeks. I see the ads. I'm getting messages from our listeners sending me pictures of fucking the grounds of Augusta National. Okay, that's how. That's what kind of influence we have on the golfing world. I mean, preparation. The Masters is coming up. I mean, it's got to be one of those things that you look at and go, "Fuck, please be here."
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to kickstart, I think, this season of golf, this year of golf for us. I hope that in the majors this year, we get big names at the top of the leaderboard, multiple big names battling each other on the weekends. I want to see guys have to go toe-to-toe with their rivals and the other best players in the world. I don't want to see no-namers walk away with it. I don't want to see tournaments that are won, Saturday. There's such big leads.
Yeah.
So I really hope so, man. I hope you see, Brooks and DJ battle. I hope you see Rory at the battle. I hope Jordan Spieth gets back up in the mix with Justin Thomas, and you got to see him go head to head. That's just what I want to see. I don't like the leaderboards, that are full of one-time winners or no-namers, at least in the major championships. In the major championships, you want to see the cream rise to the top. Hopefully we'll get that.
I mean, I hope so. I hope the cream of the crop rises. I hope it. A lot. Like, fuck, I want some drama. Okay, I'm sick and tired of the Saudi crap. I want to hear some real drama in the PGA Tour. Like, they're so worried about golden boys running around on greens in the metaverse. Like, Can we get some drama back? Like last year at this point in time, we were hearing rumors and all kinds of nonsense going on with just battles and some rivalries. I think they need to inject some of that stuff going on.
Hey, they need to do something. I mean, the three biggest golf tournaments I can remember watching and us being excited to talk about are when Tiger won the Tour Championship, when Tiger won the Masters, and when Phil won the PGA. So, other than that, who really cares?
Does Rory McIlroy have any chance of winning the Grand Slam this year?
I don't think so. The way he's playing, he's one good round and then he falls apart. I don't think so. I don't think he's consistent enough with his putting.
It's as I look down, I don't know. It just seems like these guys we just don't have the influx of players who are playing at a point in time where like just someone that's dominant. John Rahm played okay, but he just disappeared. And maybe he disappeared for a reason to, give himself a break so he can win 4 majors in a row. But I mean, we'll see.
I think Rahm will come back. I do have one other thing to talk about, golf related. It just kind of popped into my mind. I know as we're talking here, it's kind of like a product review. I think at some point we used to talk about fucking equipment or products and things like that. So I'll tell a quick story because it's something that I would never purchase on my own, and something happened to me. I went out to play golf a couple weeks ago, and I decided, hey, I drank a little bit too much the night before, didn't get a workout in like I was supposed to, so I'm going to walk, right? Not uncommon for us to go walk 18 holes. Get the old fucking push cart out, show up to the golf course, get approached by the GM. He's like, hey, you're going to walk today? Why don't you try this thing? Some fancy fucking electric, right, for your clubs.
Yeah.
Hands me this remote. They put me through a fucking tutorial on the driving range on how to drive this fucking thing. I think, that's pretty cool. Worst decision of my life. Worst 18 holes of my life. How do you concentrate on your golf game when you're having to play video games for 6 fucking hours to not put this thing in the goddamn pond? Okay? For any of you out there that are thinking about getting this motorized electric cart, it's awesome. It goes for 27 holes without having to be charged. It's horrible. Unless you're a kid that just wants to drive remote control cars, fucking don't do it.
So that's like at our club, we have this like robot thing that you fucking put your clubs in, but the scariest thing about the robot, it's like $9,000. You dump the $9,000 into the lake, you're fucked. Like it's just not worth it. Like the old push cart is pretty fucking simple. I mean, even then I've seen your clubs go down a cliff. It just happens. I mean, Poppy Hill's hole 2 fucking can get you.
I'll tell you what though, and like I hated it, right? I hated the thought of it. I'm like, this is stupid. But I think my playing partners by the back nine hated it even more because I'd drive that motherfucker 30 yards in front of me. So my music would just be blaring as it's pulling up on them getting ready to hit. And then I'd forget to stop it. And, they'd look back at me. So, it's not like I don't do stuff like that on purpose anyway, but I really wasn't even trying this time.
It's, dude, that's fucking terrifying. It's, we've got these golf carts, huh?
Dude, it's mentally draining trying to drive that thing for 6 hours.
That's fucking amazing. As we wrap up the podcast, I know you got to go. I don't want to keep you too long. Predictions for the greatest thing about a Monday finish is we're gonna fucking Thursday start at the Valspar Championship. Any predictions this week? I mean, I think they said top 4 of the fucking top 10 in the world are going to be there, to include Paul Casey and maybe John Rahm. And I don't know. Paul Casey's going to be there because he's fucking won there 6 times or something crazy. But who do you like this week?
Yeah, I like the guy that won it last year, and he played well this week. His name's Sam Burns. There you go. Mark it down.
Sam Burns getting it done. Oh, I love it. I'm going with Paul Casey just because he's playing good golf and he's.
Hey, let's put a bottle on it, like the old days. We'll put a fucking bottle on it. Paul Casey versus Sam Burns this week.
I love it. Fucking put it down. It's so we're not doing a Wednesday show because it's fucking. But you hear this show, it's gonna be Tuesday, and it's gonna be like 4 hours until we release another show, and that's just not gonna happen this week. You could thank the Players Championship. You could thank the rainy weather. You could thank Cameron Smith winning at fucking 7:00 at night on the East Coast. Jeff, dude, I appreciate you being here. It's good to have you back. I enjoy the the camaraderie, the product reviews. I mean, if someone wants to send us some fucking products, I will gladly test them. We will give our honest opinion. Jeff might be fucking. Someone needs to read his transcript before we release the show, but let us know.
Hey, it was good to be back. I look forward to getting back on here more often now, especially when we come into major championship season and actually get some real golf going.
Oh my God, April can't come soon enough. I don't know if I'm gonna make my way out there, but I'm gonna try and get detained by the Masters Police again. But it's a story for another day. So everyone, if you're listening to this, really appreciate if you just leave a comment, pay your dues, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and make sure you tune in next week where we wrap up the Painter Classic Challenge here at the Aloha Press. So with that being said, hit bombs, attack pins at Aloha Press. Jeff, we'll talk to you next week.
Cheers, bro.
Wearing all black.
Aloha! Here with JC and Jeff.
Ain't no time for school today.
Hitting bombs.
Hey, watch this punch cut lob wedge. Replace your Marshalls with Cart Girls. They're better looking. They're serving drinks.
Got to hit bombs off the tee.
Phil talking about a guy taking a shit in the cut.
Mahalo!
That's what we did fireside with Phil.
Fire at the stick.
Hit bomb and attack the pin.